Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgmo. This is your Prem Focus panel. We're talking about, and first, we're talking about Spurs, actually. I said, what's the point of Spurs? You guys know my line. But the reality is, we have to speak about Spurs. Because now, bro, there's half the freaking fan base want the manager out. And I said before, if this guy leaves and it doesn't work for Spurs, I think just fold the club. I'm being serious because this guy, I think he's one of the best managers they've had over the seasons after Poch. And they just, for some reason, the results are not going his way. Topes is asking for him to be gone. Henry Wright is asking for him to be gone. I think Deji doesn't like him now, somehow. And it's absolutely crazy. Enzo Maresca, with a lot of criticism, is it worth it? Is he actually now, like a lot of people, bro, I've had someone tell me, Mo, they should sack the manager at the end of the season regardless of the results. That's a lot of talk. Hey, Gal, what's up, my man? Happy New Year to you and all your family. Big up, Habibi, big up. And Arsenal must sign people. Otherwise, they're going to miss out on the league. Big up everybody that joined us on Football Terrace. About 500 people now in here. So hit that like button, people. Subscribe to the channel. I need to get to 30K soon. It's the new year now, almost at 29K. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Jordz is turning into a blue. I like this better, bro. Looks much better.
Yeah, the blue looks, it goes with the flag.
It looks better, bro. It looks, your skin tone looks better now. It's actually there. It looks smooth. The creams you use with your misses, you know what I mean? I get it. It shows everything is showing, bro. I'm
trying. But happy New Year to everyone. Like you said, it's good to be here. I don't know why you came out so like out the gates, just getting at my team. What's the point of Spurs? Like, can we not get some love sometimes? You know, we didn't lose this week. We got.
Wallah al-azim. Wallah.
And you know what?
Last season, Jordz, bro.
There is Manchester United,
bro. Every single show now, Sam calls me a fraud because I backed Spurs last season. Every show, bro, it's just non-stop shit. I think
back in Spurs last season. Back in Spurs last season was just a bad idea. Let's be honest. It's the first season of Ange Postecoglou, first season without Harry Kane. There wasn't a lot of reasons to back Spurs. This season either, there's not a lot of reasons to back Spurs. So you got to pick and choose when it's a good time. As someone in your position, but
no, Habibi, you were playing the best football in the country. Madison was balling. Van de Ven was showing people levels, and I'm like, well, this team might be all right. And then I made to believe in ghosts and shit because you made me believe in everything. Your club is
hi guys.
Is He's ridiculous. Ash, I haven't spoken to you in 2 weeks, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Happy New Year to everyone in advance. And yeah, it's been up and down, man. But it's okay.
I thought Arsenal are back. Nafisa came yesterday, the other day. Big up Nafisa. She's here. Everyone hit that like button, subscribe. She came to cook me about Arsenal. Big up Nafisa for joining. I know you're watching as usual.
Depends which one of your takes she was cooking. Depends.
She was cooking me about me criticizing Arsenal. By the way, Nafisa, Ash is here. We're going to talk about it. Because she came in and said that, Mo, why did you criticize Arsenal? If we win the next game, we're going to be only 1 point behind what we had last season. So how did we regress? All right, then. I'm going to hit Asher. But listen, Dave, you're right, bro. Happy New Year. Yeah. New angle, new setup, new chair, professional settings.
I'm having a good time. Everyone thinks I'm rattled, mate. I made £90 yesterday.
Why are you wearing a Formula One shirt?
Because
I used Formula One. You don't know that?
He works for Formula One. No.
What?
He said it
no
before.
idea.
Come on, you should know this, Sam.
You had no idea that Dave is like a Formula One guy?
Never.
Really?
I've known David for like 2 years now.
David, and he's not been listening.
Yeah, Sam. I used to work for this team. I don't work for them anymore. Mate. But yeah, that's why I got loads of.
I actually want to start with, before we go on to Spurs, I actually want to start with Chelsea. Me and Hussam were talking on the football terrace. Hussam had a take. I disagreed with him. A lot of people disagreed with him about Maresca and all the stuff. I kept saying that Chelsea are not in a title race because they lack the experience, they lack the composure. And when even when Chelsea were ahead of Arsenal, even though I said that Chelsea might be more attractive than Arsenal, I still put Arsenal ahead of them in the title race. And people are like, how? Chelsea should be ahead of Arsenal. They all have more points than them. I said, Enzo Maresca is going to make mistakes. He doesn't have the composure or the experience. And I guess the pressure got to him too early in December, not in March or February, bro. Because he's making the same mistake for 3 games now. Playing a midfield that doesn't work. Inverting the right back. Cole Palmer is not being used right, even though he had a good game, but he didn't have an amazing game, which is something I agreed with Osam about this. Osam said he had a crap game. He didn't have a crap game. But I'm going to tell you guys, that word that I said, Cole Palmer is becoming one of the guys, which is a dangerous thing to have your catalyst to be one of the guys. And Enzo Maresca is doing this. People go by him. People bypass him in the passing. And a lot of people ridiculed me. Don on the football terrace said he's criticizing Maresca for downplaying, like what is the word? Like diminishing Palmer's role in the team. And I see it. I said that many times. Do people see that? Do you see that, Dave? You're the one who said we don't want to be Palmer FC, but watch out we don't want to be Palmer FC to like Palmer is not involved as much as he should be.
Again, personally, I just think everyone's reading into everything too much. Sorry.
What?
I don't believe in any of this. Sorry, Mo. I know it's good to analyze. You can analyze game by game, but I think it's just too early to decide whether that's true or not. You just don't know enough.
But that's what we have to analyze.
No, I know we have to analyze it, but I think people are maybe not you, but I'm just saying in general, I feel like people just going over the top of it just because everyone wanted to throw us into somewhere where we never were, and then now you want to pull us out and be like, oh, what were you doing there anyway? Like we just never were there in the first place. We were never even when we were above Arsenal.
Hold on, can you repeat that again? We were never that good in the first place.
No, I'm not saying we weren't that good we're not title race good. We never were. We just were not title race good. And even no matter how much you guys tried to press me on it, I always said we're not. And when Ash asked, oh yeah, who's going to finish higher, Arsenal or Chelsea? I always said Arsenal because I have evidence of Arsenal for 2 years. We didn't even have enough data to say if Chelsea replicate this, we get to the end of the season. We didn't even have that. So how can I sit here and be like, oh yeah, this manager's got to do this. He's got to get out. He's made mistakes, but why is everyone shocked that he's made mistakes? He is a young manager, and this is a young squad. Like, of course he's going to make mistakes. No, again, yesterday I don't think Cole Palmer had a bad game. Was it a Cole Palmer 10-10? No, because if he's performing at a 10-10 level every game, guys going to end up with 60 goals in the Premier League, which is just not going to happen.
Yeah, Habibi, it's not only about the goals. Don't mention that it's about the involvement in the game, the amount of times he influenced the game.
But he was involved in the game yesterday.
Not as much as Cole Palmer should be. He's that talented.
If we're just going to spam balls into Palmer, we can do that. But
you know what? I don't. I'll be honest.
We created more than enough. But we created.
Habibi, you put him. Everyone put him in this pedestal, and I think he's so talented to the point that you should be going through Salah. Ya akhi. I'm not saying he's Salah's level, but imagine if people bypass Salah. I'm going to tell you the example, and every time we have to talk about this before Joe's come in. If Sabozlai has the ball and he sees Salah in front of him, he gives him the ball and let him work with it. If Partey or Rice sees Odegaard in front of them, they give him the ball and let him work. If Havertz has the ball, they give Odegaard the ball because he's the catalyst. It doesn't mean that he has to score 50 goals, but when you have a Cole Palmer and he's asking for the ball, don't bypass him. Don't bypass him. Just give him the ball. Let him work.
I just don't like this approach that a player like Cole Palmer, who's only in his second full season into the Premier League, and he's 22 years old, right? He shouldn't have to perform every single game. He's allowed to have games where he disappears. He's still growing as a player. Every other 21, 22-year-old that plays in the Premier League that's just coming in, they're allowed to have bad games. So I don't see why this pressures on Palmer to carry Chelsea through this period when we was told Chelsea have the deepest squad in the league. We was told without Palmer, there's Felix, there's Nkunku, there's Chukwuemeka, there's Fernandes, there's all these options that they can play in this forward role that's going to create goals for them, that's going to score chances. Madueke, we should be looking at the fact that the squad is without Cole Palmer are not performing to what they need to. Madueke, horrible performance. Come on, that was an all-time stinker. Where have these players been in the past 3 games?
Well,
Habibi Maresca is having stinkers 3 games. Yeah, Jordz.
Palmer's being compared to them
Can I just say, we're having a conversation about a guy who's got 18 GA in 19 games and is our best player. I didn't get while we're having this conversation, let's just put that in the framework, because I'm not diminishing expectations. It's just that if you watch simple games and you think it's as simple as get the ball to Salah and just let him do it, it's not that simple because teams will adjust to that. If your whole thing is
if you're that good, if you're the Saka same. Sorry,
but Arsenal do not just shift the ball to Saka and let him do whatever he wants.
No, actually that is wrong. When Odegaard goes out, Saka.
That's not.
You know what the problem is? I think Jordz and Dave, you guys are defending Palmer. I'm actually not criticizing Cole Palmer himself. I think he's a fantastic and a brilliant footballer. I'm not.
That's me.
It sounds like you are, though.
No, I don't think I said when I criticize, when did I criticize Palmer, Ash?
You said
you're saying that he doesn't pick up the game.
I said they bypass him. It's a Maresca problem, not a Cole Palmer problem. They kept begging for not being a Palmer FC to now, which is I understand it, to now being bypassed. Even Chelsea fans, some of them agree. 100% to agree with Mo. They bypass him too much. Bro, he asked for the ball. It's not his fault that he asked for the ball. And Enzo and Caicedo and the rest of them, they bypass the guy. Why? It's instructions. You know, I coach. I
don't think they bypass him because they're like, we have an agenda against him. I think they bypass him because they see. I don't think it's an agenda. I think they bypass him because they see a better pass. By the way, I watched the game yesterday. I don't think he had a bad game. I actually thought he was
I don't think he had a bad game at all.
And to add to what Jordz said earlier about the fact that he's 22, it's not that he's 22 and experienced and has been playing so many minutes every season. This is his second full season because up until last season, he wasn't actually starting for City. It's not like he was Rashford at 22, who had already had like 4 or 5 seasons under his belt and stuff. This is still a young player. I know he's talented and people should expect a lot from him, but there's no way you could look at yesterday's game and say, he didn't do enough. I know that's not what you're saying, Mo, but a lot of people were criticizing him yesterday, and I don't get why. I think he had a good game. He hit the post twice or crossbar. Could have scored from that. He had a couple of key passes.
He had a good game. It's not him.
He had
It's
a good game,
Maresca.
yeah.
I think also what you're not taking into consideration.
It's Maresca's, guys. It's Maresca what he's doing.
No, but what you're not taking into consideration in games like this, especially when you're throwing in the likes of João Felix and Nkunku, that was the first time they've played together, right? That they're trying to figure things out themselves. And I think what's happening, Nkunku's on that pitch. Do you think he doesn't want to take that opportunity and be that guy to make something happen? He's getting an opportunity.
And Felix as well.
Needs to perform. Same for Felix. So it's not that they're bypassing Cole Palmer on purpose. It's giving the other players an opportunity to shine. And they didn't take the opportunity, unfortunately, and they still needed Cole Palmer to show up.
My thing is,
by the way, if anything, sorry, David, I'll just add this in the end. Isn't that a good thing, though? Isn't that a good thing that they're not trying to become a one-man team and they have so many outlets and they don't only want to go Palmer, figure it out or we are done. It's a good thing that they're relying on.
It's not working. It's not a good thing. Like, it's not been working the last couple of games.
Again,
That's the problem.
but how is it not working? Please explain.
Okay.
Can I guys tell you a stat that I just went and checked exactly what I saw yesterday? How come the main catalyst at Chelsea, Cole Palmer, in the first half had less touches than João Felix? Why is Maresca telling these guys? How is João Felix getting more touches? By the way, they played the same position yesterday, but actually one of them was stuck in from outside, so he should have. Just realistically, my number 10, the catalyst of the team, the best player, at least he's not playing a striker, should have more than João Felix was getting the passes more than him from Caicedo and Enzo. That is on, by the way, that is on Maresca, guys. How is Cole Palmer having less touches than, I'm not going to say Caicedo or Enzo because they're midfielders, huh? But João Felix is exactly the same player behind the forward, between the lines, intricate passing. How is João Felix touching the ball before more than the guy?
But why is that surprising? Why is that? I don't understand.
That is very surprising.
Can I explain?
Yeah, go ahead. Explain.
He's playing. Okay, when João again, we played this box system, and then João Felix was the winger yesterday. João Felix naturally
the
is
winger,
not
okay, the winger.
The winger. No, he's not naturally a touchline winger like a Madueke or a Sancho. So he's going to come inside and then make himself more of an option. Therefore, if he comes inside and makes himself more of an option, therefore it's going to. He's going to get more passes because he's close to the midfield, and if they need a pass to make, he's going to be there to make it. So it's not. It's the system again. The system is there, and when you put different people in the system is going to look different because people make different decisions when interacting with others. That's just natural. So, but
and you know what's
how it's not working when yesterday we created 2 expected goals and they cleared the ball off the line 4 times.
I want to answer.
I'm sorry. One last thing. This one last thing on most points.
Don't forget it. It obviously didn't work.
Sorry.
It's gonna happen.
No, sorry. Habibi, Allah. Just on most point, because he's saying how is João Felix getting more touches when they beat Brentford? When Chelsea beat Brentford 2-1, Jadon Sancho had more touches than Cole Palmer. When they beat Spurs 4-3, Jadon Sancho had only 3 touches less than Cole Palmer. So why is it relevant in this game?
But by the way, I've been saying this for about 10 games, and Hussein can attest to this, and Dave can attest.
But they've been winning games with this tactic.
Yeah, Habib, but I didn't like it.
Brentford.
I've been criticized. I said they're gonna become too much no Cole Palmer FC to the point that in some phases of the games he will not be involved. And that's not.
No.
You have a talented player, and you don't want to get him involved.
No, Mo, I think that you're discrediting his role and how he impacts the game on the pitch. He's not a player that needs to have so many touches. I feel like Cole Palmer is not someone that's going to be dropping in deep in the pockets like Odegaard will, picking it up like a Maddison and trying to move the ball up the pitch. Exactly. He's someone that's going to be all action in that final third, pick up the ball, 2-3 touches. He might do a 1-2 and then he's shooting. He's very clinical and very quick with his decisions that he's making on the pitch. So I don't think he needs a lot of touches. I don't think Cole Palmer's that player where he needs a lot of the ball to make something happen. I feel like you could probably look at Palmer, have 15 touches in a game and still score 2 goals. He's that type of player just because he puts himself in those positions and he's very technical. He can just do 1-2 touch passes and not have to take too much of the ball. Like he said, Madueke, where he's going to touch the ball, drag it out the pitch, take long with the ball to do much. That's not a player that I rate. I feel like Cole Palmer, you're just underrating his role in Chelsea's team right now, man.
Listen, we're not underrating him. We're actually rating him as he should be rated, which is one of the best players in the Premier League. People always get this twisted. We don't have a Palmer agenda. Yeah, Habib, when you bring his name to the best player in the league conversations, I'll tell you based off of the games that happened this season. Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest. Hamza 45-minute monologue Mohamed Salah directly. This is just how football works. Arsenal lost to Newcastle away from home. Saka created the only dangerous chance of their whole game directly after the game. Where was Saka? What did Saka do? When you lose 2-0 to Ipswich, we are going to look at your best players and we're going to go like, where is your performances? This is very normal for any of these, any conversations when it comes to the top level. Cole Palmer for me was not at Palmer standard yesterday, just like he wasn't at Palmer standard besides the goal against Fulham, just like he wasn't at Palmer standard against Everton. I understand Mo's approach, which is you have to let your best players cook. The problem is Palmer didn't cook yesterday specifically, and he didn't cook against Everton either. There was a lack of creativity from him. Like that final pass wasn't there from Cole Palmer. And if you guys notice in the second half, every time he kind of got like the ball in a dangerous position, he just gave the ball straight to an Ipswich player, or he overcooked the pass, or he undercooked the pass, or like he just wasn't there. And world-class players and the best players are held to a different standard. I'm not going to hold Palmer to like, Madueke standards. It's just that's the standard that he's held at.
What standard are you holding him to? What players are you comparing him to? Because he's 18.
I'm comparing him at least to his peers.
His peers for me, when you talk about like level of player, is someone like Lamine Yamal, who's been around for 18 months, played the same amount of football as Cole Palmer, and they're both around the same ability. Like, they're gonna be world class.
Okay, the fact that you mentioned Lamine Yamal makes my argument even stronger. So
it doesn't, because you wouldn't have this stand for Lamine Yamal if he didn't turn up in one game. You're not gonna be like, oh, look what he went.
It's not been one game. I'll tell you the games. I'll tell you the games. It was Ipswich and Everton. Let me tell you the games. Everton, Ipswich, Fulham, besides the goal. Man United away from home. Liverpool away from home. Manchester City at home. And Arsenal at home. 7 games, not just one.
But you don't watch Yamal week in, week out, so you don't have the same opinion. And Yamal was apparently this amazing great player, and last season he got 10 GA. If Palmer had got 10 GA in the Prem, no one would talk about him. So perspective.
Yeah, but Yamal is technically a lot better than Palmer.
But who cares? But hang on a second.
Go on, Jordz.
I was just comparing the fact that they're both 18 months into their career.
No, I'm just using Yamal.
They're world class.
Mr. Ability over here is laughing. Who's better dribbler, Yamal or Palmer?
Sam, coming from you.
Who's better passer? Who's better finisher? Yeah, there you go.
If we can play this game if you want, but technically Hazard is better than Salah. But
I agree with that.
They don't want to have that conversation.
But this is what I'm saying.
I've never denied.
This is
stop, because there's lies. I have never denied.
I saw a tweet today that
I have never denied that.
I saw a tweet that said today, Salah plays football like Blueface raps, and I was like, it's making sense.
I don't know who's that. I'm sorry.
You don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know who's that. I'm sorry. Well, I apologize. I'm sorry.
You might not get it, but the guys that are gonna get it. He doesn't rap on the beat. There's no.
Can you at least tell us? You're like, we're in the dark here, bro.
So that's Salah. That is Salah. There's no flow to his game.
This is Jordz always takes it too far with Salah, and anyone who gets, and that's why he's laughing right now. Anyone who gets this level of output needs to have a certain level of ability.
I have an agenda, 100%. I've had an agenda against Salah.
You have an agenda against Salah. Your club is even not on the same table as Liverpool.
Against Salah from his first season in the league, and I'm going.
Why? He's not even on the same table with your club.
I will hold this agenda until he leaves.
Why? I don't get it. Like, it's weird.
Why, Habibi?
This reminds me of Salad hating Liverpool as a Napoli fan. It's weird. Like it's like me saying, I have a Lazio agenda. Why?
I'm serious. Wallahi. Can you, Alec? I'm sorry. Can you just explain to us why do you hate Mohamed Salah?
Salah is the reason, and my club, like Deji would say, did not win a Champions League. That fraud ass penalty that they gave, and my man took it with pride, proud, and tried to do a little celebration.
Was he supposed to miss it? Was he supposed to miss it?
Really?
Again. I think it's funny because
let's get out of here.
They would have won anyway, regardless if that decision had happened.
So what is he thinking? What is he thinking? You thought
He
that
ru-
Spurs
he
would win a
ruined- he
Champions
ruined the
League.
biggest day of my life as a Spurs fan. He ruined it. So I'm
Spurs are in the top 6 because of Rihanna, not because of their football. And that's true.
Rihanna.
That will never change. Rihanna and
Okay.
NFL is the reason why. Spurs
Let me do a
are-
couple of the super chats and then because I want to ask a question about Chelsea before moving on. Just quickly. Nafisa here is saying, sorry, if you are put into world-class conversations, perform. She is so right.
Fact.
He's got
Exactly, guys.
18
World
goals and
class.
assists this
Yeah,
season.
He's not
Baby.
world class. No, I don't think he's world class. Like, you
He's
guys
not
put him on
world-class.
the pedestal.
Call him world class would be silly.
Yeah, that's stupid. Like from one and a half year, like I think
He's
that's
not
ridiculous.
world-class.
He's
You don't
going
think he's
to be
He's
world-class?
not world class.
I think he's
He will
one
be,
of the
though.
best- You just call him one of the best youngsters in the world. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Young player, that's it.
All right. Okay. I get it, guys. Since I get it. Guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get, guys, we have over 700 people here. We're not even on 200 likes. Target is 400 likes live, guys. Hit that like button. And also, Jordz channel, Durak Diaries in the description. He's so consistent now. It's unfucking believable.
Yeah, he's everywhere as well. I saw
Bro,
he was
he's
on his
every
first
day
channel earlier
streaming,
on as
bro.
well.
With a panel. And he asked people to go Ash as well as
He's doing what I used to do 3 years ago, which is just be on bare streams. Like it's just, that's
You
why
see
you
me
have to get
around every
Durak
day.
Diary. 1K subscribers right now. Go
Let's
subscribe.
go. Let's get him to 1K, people.
Despite his Salah agenda.
Ash channel in the description as well. And of course, Don Hossam channel is always in the description, guys. Go and subscribe if you haven't. Abdi Has is saying, pool fans don't get onto Trent's blame. It is on.
Richard Hughes and FSG, and I agree with that. And
Did
I've
you,
always
did you hear what Tom said yesterday? I'm sure he said it today.
Yeah, but Tom is doing this whole
Bro,
emotional approach.
Let me
to
tell
it.
the people who people that didn't watch the National League yesterday and the panel, because Tom said if Trent doesn't sign a new contract to Liverpool and he goes to Real Madrid, I want him in reserves for the rest of the season, not
That's
playing.
mad. That's crazy.
Anyway,
So
so
Tom-
Abdi Has, I actually think you're
understand
right.
that. I understand that.
No, bro.
Yeah,
That's
Tom
just
is-
emotional.
At least Spurs got a point. Chelsea didn't. Yes.
Yeah, against Ipswich, they bantered them.
I got a point this weekend. Come on.
Beating
Where's
Ipswich
my
is not
Man United
everyone.
fans at? Where's my Man United fans at?
Bro, Man United, but I'm just going to tell you one thing. Man United are below West Ham. I think the conversation is over. Khalas. It's over. Palmer is
at least
playing
I'm
with.
on the worst top 16. That's all it is.
Bro, have some shame. Palmer is playing with school kids. 0 IQ, joking. Bro,
But last
American-
season, no, 1 second. Last
Okay,
season,
okay.
Salah wasn't afforded this excuse. In the run of games, when we played Manchester City at home, he put Diaz through. He created the chance for Nunez. When we played Man United away from home,
Wait.
the
wait,
15
wait.
chances we had in the
How
first
old is
half, he
Salah?
created. 1 second, he created like 6 of them. We're not gonna afford the excuse of he has shit teammates, because you're the same person that rates Jackson, you're the same fan base that rates Caicedo and rates Enzo and rates like whoever the hell you have playing. So we ain't gonna do that bullshit. Just say Palmer had to step up. He didn't play well yesterday, and we keep it stepping. That's it.
I agree with Hussam about everything Chelsea. I don't know why you agree with him.
Nafisa is the female version of me. Literally, we agree on
Yeah,
everything.
you're wrong.
We
Emmanuel,
both stood Mo as well.
what is
Big
this,
up.
guys? Southgate is a knight. Did he get?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta call him
Knighted.
Sir.
He's a
Gareth
sir now.
Southgate.
Yeah, it's Sir Gareth.
He became Sir Gareth Southgate.
How can you be a loser? Like an
No, let's
all-time
not do that.
That's
Nah,
the most
nah.
English thing ever.
It is the most English thing ever.
The thing again, it is part of the culture. Like he
Losing.
brought back the vibes. He brought back the vibes. Now the culture is like in like George, you know it as well. If you bring the vibes,
I know
back,
it. Yeah, it's big vibes, but still, man, it's
if your
Yeah,
team's dead and you
Krishnan.
bring them to the semi-final, everyone rates it. You get
Sam,
picked up.
comparing leaders everywhere, we should be winning the league. Bayern 36, lead by 4 points. Atalanta 41, there is no lead because Inter have a game in hand. Atletico Madrid 41, 1 point lead. Liverpool 45 points, 8 points lead.
I hear you. Arsenal are still favorites though.
what?
Forget about him, ya akhi. That's a gimmick that he likes, but anyway.
Leopard Nation rise.
Emmanuel here is saying it was funny how Chelsea players were faking injuries. Were they? Were they
No.
faking injuries yesterday? No, they
No.
weren't. No, they weren't faking injuries at all. Ameritan is saying Yamal is not better than Palmer. Give me a break.
Oh my days.
Is he? Anyone? Is Yamal better than Palmer?
No.
It's a tough conversation.
Guys, yes or no in
Hard.
the chat, people? Is Yamal better than Palmer? Yes or
I mean,
no?
Yamal's
Go on.
performances in the Euros can't go unstated. He literally took his team on back to
and
a
Palmer's
Euro
and Palmer's
championship.
quite as well.
I would
I'm
slightly
sorry,
edge it.
Palmer's class, isn't it?
While Palmer got benched by Foden and Saka.
taking your team to a Euro championship, that's heavy, bro. Like you can't say you're better. Man, are doing that. That's heavy.
Palmer
Bro.
didn't do something. Okay, cool.
I mean, England didn't do nothing as always. So Spain.
By the way, the Chelsea fans think that Palmer did something in the Euros. It's just so like shameless.
If I'm starting a club tomorrow,
Palmer
I'm
did
choosing
as
Yamal.
much as Saka. Like Palmer was not exceptional like Yamal in the Euros. You cannot tell me that Palmer was as exceptional as Yamal, right? You can't.
No,
Yamal was so exceptional in the Euros.
Because he's wearing blue and blue and red or whatever.
No, but okay. So you want to tell me that Palmer had the same? Palmer had a similar Euros to Yamal. Okay, can you put the statement out? Can you put the state? Did Yamal have the same Euros as Palmer?
Has Yamal ever had a season close to Palmer in the league?
No. See, don't deflect. Don't deflect.
Well, no.
I asked a straight freaking question, bro. Answer the question. I can answer the question. No, he hasn't. Now answer my question. Did Palmer have the similar Euros to Yamal?
In the minutes Palmer got, he couldn't have done more.
In a minute, it will go just it's a yes or no question.
But that's not Palmer's fault.
It's a minute.
It's a minute. Yamal on the bench does Yamal become a bad player? No, that's not how it works.
No.
See the difference, Aya? I literally answered the yes or no question with a yes or no answer. He asked me and I said no, he hasn't. And I asked him a straight question.
But I just need to say, wait, Mo, even on that was his first season in the league last year. Like literally, he was 16.
Why are you defending a Chelsea player as a Spurs fan?
It's so weird, bro.
No, he's defending Yamal. He's defending Yamal. He's not defending
Yamal, and this year he's on track to probably have a better season than Palmer. He's got 9 assists and 5 goals. Like, he's
injured and he might be out.
He's injured now, but if you've seen,
oh my God, Palmer!
No, he's 16. He's 16 turned 17. I can't lie. If you're gonna do this, what Yamal has done is way more impressive than what Palmer does. We're not gonna do that.
They both have the same footballing. George, you've literally just said they have the same footballing experience.
They do. Well, technically, in first team,
I get it. He wears blue and red. That's calm.
In first team,
he plays in the Camp Nou. That's fine.
Bro, we can't ignore the fact that Palmer was playing.
He's not playing in the Camp Nou. Actually, it's not yet done.
Youth UEFA League and all these things. Like he was playing youth competitions for years at a high level for Man City. So
cool. He played. I get it. Camp Nou tax. He's Belgrano.
Okay. Enough about Palmer. Simple question, Dave. Are you going to get dragged into a top 4 race now? Simple.
I don't think. I think we'll just comfortably finish in the top 4. I don't think we'll be in the race.
You don't think so?
I think we'll finish like again. We can finish 4.
Do you know the table, or you're speaking out of? You know the table?
No. So currently we're 4.
Currently, you're 3 points ahead of Newcastle, 4 points ahead of Manchester City.
I think the only team that would catch us would be City, but that's it.
Not Newcastle.
Not Newcastle, no.
Not Newcastle.
I don't believe Newcastle are better than us, no.
Newcastle have picked 4 clean sheets.
I don't believe Newcastle are consistent enough over the next 19 games to outpoint us by 5.
Jordz, what do you think?
We're in the top 4 race.
Chelsea on the towers.
Yeah, top 4 race or comfortably top 4?
They're comfortably top 4, I think.
Comfortably.
Just looking at the contenders, I mean, we've fell off. I don't think Tottenham are in the top 4 race. Man United are definitely not in the top 4 race.
It's Newcastle and City. I'm just going to save you the hassle. It's Newcastle and City. That's it.
No, City are in the top 4. I think it's Arsenal.
Why
Chelsea,
not Forest more? Forest are second now. Why not Forest? You were backing them up a couple of weeks ago.
No, Forest.
I never fucking backed Forest at any time.
No one
backed them, but you were using.
No, I
he
never
didn't back
backed
them,
Forest,
but he was using them as an example. Oh, what if Forest finished above Arsenal?
I think the only other team that we can.
I never said that. What were you talking about?
You said it as a joke.
What are you talking about? I never said that.
You said it as a joke. You did. You were mentioning
it. Was a joke.
You were mentioning
but I never.
Yeah, it was.
Forest to finish above Arsenal.
Instead of being sensitive, Ashraf, wallah عيب عليك. Being so sensitive.
I'm kidding. Doesn't matter.
Anyway,
I think they'll comfortably finish top 4 as well. Like even if they have a blip now, I don't think
Forest could win the title.
Newcastle are not in the Europa League either, right?
The one thing I will say is
Them-
Chelsea they definitely
not,
need to watch out that what happened to Maresca last season don't happen to them, because
Do you know why that happened, Jordz?
I didn't
No,
do
okay,
research.
okay, fine.
I
I
just
feel a dig is
know-
coming.
That's all I
I feel
need
a
to
dig
know.
is coming.
I don't need to be. Wait. I'm not going to act like
Agenda's got to
All
run.
I
No, I
know,
get it. Agenda's got
Agendas
to run.
will run. Agendas will run. Because
Agendas will run.
he
I got it,
almost
I got it.
dropped a
It's fine.
17-point lead in the championship and managed to call it back in the last couple of games. So I'm asking the questions because obviously we've seen this at Leicester and we've seen this with teams like Brendan Rodgers. It's not like it's a thing where it just doesn't happen. We've seen this where teams can go on runs and then in the second half of the season, the teams manage to, fall out due to whatever reasons. And I've seen people being questioning Maresca, rightly so, for some of the decisions he's been making in the last couple of games. His in-game management, his lack of substitutions. Has this not been a worry for you, or you just cool and just been like, I know this has just been in the last couple of games, just a blip?
It's just a blip.
All right, say less. We'll see.
I've seen enough of Maresca's football for me not to go to bed worried about what my football club's going to do.
Okay.
Well, I think
there's definitely some problems. So
I promise you, Spurs fans said that in the first 10 games of last season. But yes,
again, I think
I didn't say we were going to title race, just like you had to do.
Mo, first of all, we're not them. We're not them. We're not Rihanna FC. We're not Formula One FC. We're not them. So have a bit of respect. Villa are
while wearing a Formula One.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. David,
very ironic.
It was ironic, honestly.
Sam, do you not think I got a free trip to the stadium? Please, come on. We know about these things. Come on, bro. Come on. Let's not do this. I'm just saying. Spurs are commercial. They're just commercial. They're not. They don't care about their footballing acumen. So I'm not worried about them. So they can stay over there. I won't take smokes from Spurs when Villa have won more titles than them.
Okay.
Anyway, okay. We're talking about Spurs then. Good. And now New actually beat us. Newcastle actually they're better than you. Nafisa, you really think Newcastle are better than Chelsea? Does anybody here think that? Let's just establish.
Newcastle are they turn up against the big teams, but they're very inconsistent in their runs of form. They have a good run of form and then they go off about 4 or 5 games where they play really bad.
Recently, they've been amazing. They've picked up a good run. So if they can keep that going for
they got 5 wins in a row,
Yeah, something like that. So they have been
4 wins, 4 clean sheets.
4 wins and 1 defeat, which is really good to be honest. So they can do it, but I don't think they'll finish top 4 though.
I'm not gonna rule them out.
They have a chance, of course.
But I think if they finish top 4, it will be above Manchester City.
I think Newcastle are at risk of losing players, so I don't think they finish top 4.
I promise you all, Man City.
Yeah, Habibi, they want to risk. They want to lose players now. What?
Man City is 100% going to get top 4. Everyone need to cut this bullshit, please.
Man City are spending money in January. They've made it very clear they're going out there to get players, and people have forgot Man City money because they've been a bit frugal the last couple of years. They forgot that they can just go splash 80 million tomorrow. They'll go do it. Just give them the options of players out there. So people that writing off City, I reckon City could still finish 2nd or 3rd. Don't get it twisted. They can pull it back.
2nd. No.
Dependent on their signings, they could win the league.
Good, Ashraf. You lot are not good. I promise you. Don't be so.
We're better than
perfect. Perfect segue, Mo. Perfect segue, Mo. Perfect segue.
No. They're not gonna finish 2nd, bro.
Why are you saying Arsenal not good, bro?
That's mad.
Because we've seen Arsenal what they are this season. They've got no Saka for a couple months. Yeah, Jesus had a couple good games on the right wing. And I don't know why people are making faces. I said after the Crystal Palace game, I said, you won. It was a good win. But the biggest thing that I took away from that game was Saka's loss. And people were going, no, how can you say this? What do you mean? And I was like, no. Saka getting injured is going to kill you for the next 2 to 3 months. It's not like he just had a hamstring strain. He had surgery on his hamstring. He's out for literally at least 2 to 3 months. So when he does come back, he's not going to be able to be rushed into the team because a hamstring strain, like we've seen with Van der Ven, is at risk of getting pulled up straight away, especially at the high intensity that Arsenal play at. So when I look at their team, unless they make signings, they've not got a competent player that can perform on the wing for them. People aren't taking into the fact that there's games every 4 to 5 days over the next 2 to 3 months. There's no rest. You need a fit team. They don't have reliable players. How much of their players are always on the injury bench? Jesus, he's crap. Let's have it right. Jesus is crap. He looks good on the eye. Yeah, and people say I'm an aesthetics merchant, but that's a guy that I can't rate, because if you're good on the eye as a striker, but you don't score goals, you're shit. You're shit. Like, as a
he's
striker,
not even been good
is
in the eye
put the ball
recently,
in the
to be
back of the
honest.
net, and he consistently doesn't do it. Yes, you're going to tell me, oh, he's on form at the moment. That's like 3 games this season. Where was he the whole of last season when he scored 6
But
goals?
Jordz, your points make sense. Your points make sense why we're not going to catch up to Liverpool and win. I agree with that. It doesn't make sense to say that if we win tomorrow, which we might not win, we might lose, but let's say we win tomorrow.
You might what?
We will have...
Hold on. Can you stop here? You might what?
I'm saying it might happen, right? Like, I'm saying in case we lose or draw, then that's a different conversation. But if we beat Brentford tomorrow, we are 8 points ahead of City, which, by the way, is like our biggest ever margin that we've had over them since God knows when. I don't think they'll like, even with assigning this Jan, I think they will get back to top 4. I agree with Hassam if they make like a significant signing that fixes that midfield issue, but I don't think it'll be to the point where they win like 20 games in a row or 15 games in a row or something like that.
Well,
but they will get better.
I don't think it's about whether a case of them going on a big run of form. I'm looking at the fact that Arsenal are probably going to drop points and more points over the next 6 to 7 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks that you think you're going to. That's my point. I think you're not going to stay on a strong run of form or a consistent run of form, because the amount of games that are coming up, you've got FA Cup game, you've got Carabao Cup games, you've got the same schedule Tottenham does, as well as the Champions League games where you need to win. So you've got all these games where you need to play your first 11, you need your top players to perform. I don't look at Arsenal's bench. I don't look at we saw in that period when Odegaard was out that Trossard can't be relied upon. Martinelli can't be relied upon. Maybe Havertz at times gonna get you a goal, so I'm not gonna say him, but Waneri, he's a young player. It showed that you can't just throw him in and expect.
You said we need to start our main 11. What's our main 11, Jordz?
Without Saka. There isn't.
Yeah.
That's the point. You've just got loads
exactly.
of
So why would we start?
Can I just stop here?
Anyways,
can
we
you
can
just
discuss
stop?
this later. Yeah.
Stop. So, guys, for everyone, thank you for the super chat, Kingsley. You're talking about David Ornstein's bomba on Trent. I actually think David Ornstein is about an hour late. This news has dropped an hour.
Yeah, he just said the same. I'm checking right now. He just said the same exact stuff that like, was said already.
Guys
times.
in the chat, this news is old now. It's old. Yes, they want to sign Trent now. And okay, good, fine, great, fantastic. What
There's
does that
no
mean?
bomba. It's just Ornstein.
No bomba, bomba khara. This is nothing, bro. Said nothing. Literally.
Yeah.
Kingsley, I appreciate the super chat, bro. You guys need to be on X more.
Damn,
sorry, guys.
Dusty Diaries. That's crazy.
Dusty.
Everyone get off Twitter.
I'm rattling the Arsenal.
Why?
You know what it is? People don't understand. I will keep up the pressure on Arsenal, because as I have been right the past 3 years, when I've said the pressure gets on to these Arsenal boys, they never turn up. Odegaard, when the pressure's on, he doesn't turn up. Saka, when the pressure's on, he doesn't. It's not lies.
Last season we turned up.
Last season quarterfinal. What happened against Bayern Munich? Saka, where was he? What
about the Premier League?
One dribble attempted.
What about the Premier League?
I'm not hearing it. Porto.
But Saka killed it against Bayern Munich in the first leg. Why aren't you counting that?
I'm talking about big games.
Why aren't you counting? Yeah, Bayern Munich. The first leg is a big game. Bayern Munich first leg is a big game, isn't it?
I'm talking about the big game, the big one. The one when you went over to their leg and you needed to win. What happened?
So the second one is big. The first one isn't. Okay, fair.
What about the Porto game? What about the Porto game when he had 2 dribbles attempted on the wing and 0 completed? That was his whole.
What about the Liverpool game at the Emirates when we beat them 3-1? No, that doesn't count because it doesn't suit the agenda.
Playing in the Premier League is a.
What about the Spurs game when he dunked on your head at your ground?
I'm talking about in high pressure moments. No, because Ashraf, you're talking about just a big game. I didn't say big. I'm talking about high pressure moments. Yeah, when all the pressure's on your
Bayern Munich first leg is a high pressure moment.
The second leg's the highest pressure moment. Just like the first leg's the first leg. You already know what's going. The second leg is where you know. What do you mean when you go into a tie? You know that whatever happens in the first leg, you've always got the second leg to fall back on, and you can make something happen. What happened in the first leg? What happened in the first leg, Ashraf?
We drew 2-2, but that was not on him. He helped set up both goals.
Okay, you drew.
He
So what
the first
happened?
one, actually.
So you knew in the second leg.
should have had a penalty.
You knew in the second leg, Ashraf. You knew in the second leg that it was a must-win game, and he dropped an all-time stinker. That's my point.
So
is my point exactly.
The best players in the world drop stinkers in high pressure moments. I saw Messi go play against Roma when his team needed him and they lost 3-0 and he missed a sitter. And this is the greatest player of all time, by the way. I saw Messi go to Liverpool at Anfield when he needed to do something and they lost 4-0. And this is the greatest player of all time, by the way.
Now you're deflecting. Because I'm
destroying your point.
I watched this team. No, you're not trying to destroy my logic. Because I'm talking about your team in particular. I'm talking about your team in particular because you can take it back.
And my player has turned up
when you came to White Hart Lane and we slapped you 3-0, and then you went to St James Park and they slapped you 2-0, and you bottled top 4.
What about when we went to St James Park?
High pressure moment.
So when we went to Spurs last season with your entire starting 11 available, because you guys told us
was that a high pressure moment
and Romero are playing. It was because we were chasing the league. It was the last 5 games of the season. We were chasing the league.
And
he slapped you guys up.
Tottenham side that didn't win. We didn't win. We won. No, we didn't win. We won 1 game of our last 6 or 7.
Bro. I'm with you to criticize players when you need to criticize them 100%. But you criticizing Saka for high pressure moments. That's mad. That is mad.
All you need to do is ask him this. Jordz, do you have an agenda against Arsenal?
No.
Sounds like you do, bro.
I don't have an agenda against Arsenal. Of course, I'm naturally have a hate towards Arsenal. They are rivals, just like you hate Chelsea. Like I hate Chelsea. Just like, what do you mean? You hate Tottenham, don't you? This is normal.
Not really.
You think in no world
I
Arsenal can catch Liverpool if Liverpool have a blip? The problem with Jord's argument is that he's not talking about Liverpool dropping off. He's thinking that Arsenal are not good enough to catch Liverpool.
Yes.
Because, okay, Jordz, you agree, and all of us agree that Liverpool cannot continue winning every game. They will definitely drop points, right?
Yeah, we will drop points.
It's not going to happen. They won't.
You know the funny
get 100 points.
I was the first person. I said this a month ago, and then they started dropping points. I said Liverpool are not going to continue this run. They're going to drop points. And what do? They drop points, but draws. This is the difference between
your 100 points is about Arsenal, not about.
This is the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal. And they've shown this over the last couple of years. Liverpool get through games no matter what. Yeah, when you see a team 1-0 up against Liverpool, it can be the last 20 minutes. You know, somehow, some way, they're going to turn that game around. It could be 2-1, 3-1. Arsenal, on the other hand,
we did that last season.
No. Arsenal, on the other hand, there's a lot of these games where you guys are drawing, where you're losing, you're dropping points because your team just can't get you through it. Liverpool managed to pick up points in most games. They've had 1 loss this season. They don't lose. Most of these years when they're competing for the title, they have 1-2 losses, maybe 3. They know how to not lose. They might get a draw here and there, but that's it. And that's the difference between this.
But Jordz, again, you're the reason why you're waffling.
The reason Arsenal aren't good enough to challenge, Chelsea aren't good enough to challenge, and Man City are too far back. So that's why Liverpool run away. It's not because Liverpool.
The reason why you're waffling, I agree. Liverpool are going to win the league this season. I've said it from the time we drew to Chelsea. I've said they're definitely going to win the league this season. But to say this, if you're saying we don't have it in us because of Saka's injury, we're not going to replace him, you know what? I'm on board with you. I'll shake your hand. I agree. Fair enough. That's a very good point. But to say, you don't have it in you, when last season, Liverpool were the ones leading the league for most of the season, and they bottled it against United, they bottled it against Crystal Palace, bottled it against Everton, bottled it against Villa, and lost the league. And Arsenal went on 16 wins out of 18 games and 1 draw at the Etihad against City. How did we bottle it last season?
We can all.
What isn't that mental pressure?
We can all look back on last season and justify that the Liverpool fall off was in like literally in line with when Klopp come out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm leaving at the end of the season," and then
it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
They started to fall off like a month after that.
Wait, that's nonsense. Assam, when did Klopp announce?
We all knew Klopp was out.
When did Klopp announce that he's leaving?
Challenge.
When did Klopp announce that he's leaving?
Are you coming back this year? You're doing all these justifications
because they dropped points in April.
You're not going to.
He announced that like 4 or 5 months before that.
But Ashraf, you're doing all these justifications and deflections about
Jordz. Why are you saying a point? It's rebutted and then you don't come back to it.
And deflections, and
it's not a deflection. I'm agreeing with you.
You're not even going to come here and say that you can win the league. You don't believe that.
We can, of course we can, but I don't think we will. We can win, but we won't win it, I think.
If that's different. You will, that means you're not going to do it, bro. That's my point. You don't think you can do it.
Is that how it works? Because I don't think we will win it.
I mean, in your mindset, it's not going to happen.
But that doesn't mean because we don't have the character or the balls to do it, because we showed that last season. I think we won't do it. I think we've unfortunately let them have too big of a gap, which is why I think even if we close the gap, I think they have enough of a safety cushion to win the league regardless. I think we've left it too late.
You have to ask, are Arsenal 8 points better than Liverpool over 19 games? Currently, you'd say no.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, I'll say that 100%. I think we can close the gap. Yeah, but we won't win the league. That doesn't mean we don't have the mentality to. I think you can blame our mentality. You can blame the manager's mentality for the first half. But last season we showed the mentality in the end. We have last season. We did show the mentality.
You did last season. We did show. You haven't won it.
George, we didn't win the league not because we didn't have the mentality, because our manager bottled it in one game where he switched the lineup. In every other game, most people, when they told us, remember when we went to the last 10 games, we had City at the Etihad, we had Spurs away, we had United away, and people said, just like the season before, and just like the season before that, you're going to bottle it in the last 10 games. Because that's what Arsenal do. And we won 8 games, drew 1 and lost 1.
The mentality to win it. That's just like saying, oh, when Liverpool went and done all those games, but they finished a point behind, at the end of the day, they didn't win it. You can only talk about when
last season Liverpool didn't win it either.
The job done.
Fair. So I'll use your logic. I'll use your logic. The last 2 times Liverpool were in a title race, they failed to do it as well. In 24 last season and 22, they failed to do it. Yes. So why are you? So then,
but the team, we know the team has got over the line, and when they've failed to do it in the Premier League, they've done it in other competitions simultaneously. You haven't. Your team has failed on.
So is your point that they will win more trophies than us, or is your point that they have better mentality in the Premier League than us? I'm confused.
The mentality comes with the trophies. You win trophies to build your mentality. That's an obvious point, Ashraf. Come on, man.
They should have won it last season then. By that logic, when they were top of the league for majority of the season, they should have won it last season.
They even still won a trophy last season. What did you win? When have your team shown mentality?
I'm discussing the Premier League, Jordz. So basically, you mention a point. I destroy it for you. You go to another point. I destroy that for you. You go to another point. I'm already agreeing with you that Liverpool are going to win the league. I'm not denying it. They are going to win the league. But they're going to win the league, I think, because we screwed up in the first half of the season. Which is on Arteta, 100%.
Ashraf, it's about winning mentality. You can't tell me Arsenal have a winning mentality and showed winning mentality.
So the winning mentality switches. So the winning mentality you're talking about, switches on and off whenever they want it, right? Is that what it is? So last season they switched off the mentality.
They didn't.
If we win, wait, by your logic, we win the League Cup this season, do we have the mentality to win the league?
Bro, honestly,
no, Ashraf, because you just said Liverpool won the cup last season, so they have the mentality. If we win the League Cup this season, do we have the mentality to win the league?
Bro, you're actually so lost, bro. Honestly, because you're sitting here you're not getting the point that
these are your points.
No, because you're sitting here talking about, oh yeah, the team in the Premier League. I'm talking about your team as a whole. To build the mentality to win, you need to win trophies, whether that's a League Cup, an FA Cup, a Europa League, Conference League, whatever it is, that they build mentality, a winning mentality by winning trophies. Liverpool have built a winning mentality in their club to win trophies.
That means a team can...
No, Ashraf, stop. It doesn't mean that they're going to win every trophy every season. But what it does mean is every season they're competing for every trophy and they're literally winning one every year.
I got your point. That means your point is Arsenal can never win the league until they win the league. Wow. So Liverpool, when they won the Champions League in 2019, having won nothing before that, Liverpool, Hussam, you guys could not have won the Champions League in 2019 because you didn't win any trophies before that for many years. Because none of the players in your team ever won the Champions League. Because Klopp in his entire history never won the Champions League.
Take the L, bro. Take the L.
There's no L. Ashraf is waffling. There's no L.
Take the L, bro.
Waffling. What are you guys
waffling? You literally said that. You can't win the league.
You're telling me to
win the league before.
The difference is...
So Man City in 23 couldn't win the Champions League because they never won the Champions League. So that means they were never going to win it.
Their team had won how many leagues before then?
Oh my God.
You're just not understanding. You're just not understanding. You failed to understand. They won things.
So when Man City won the league in 2012, the first time, let's go that back. You know what?
Of course, your team needs to get win the first time. But my point is, I will never believe.
Which means we can win it the first time as well.
Failed to do it year in, year out,
and so has Man City. Man City failed to win it year on year until they did it.
But George, with your logic, Man City failed in a fight.
With my logic, is Arsenal have consistently failed. Prove me until I'm wrong. I am right until
I am proving you. I'm telling you. Manchester City failed against Chelsea, got knocked out against Lyon, got knocked out against Monaco, failed in the semi-final, bottled it, leading and destroying Real Madrid and bottled it in a semi-final.
I'm right until you prove me
hold
wrong.
Hold on. I'm not saying Arsenal will win the league, George. Just let me finish. Bottled it, failed, learned from the mistakes, and then Pep Guardiola played differently in the year they won the treble. Your point will be logical if you said, I don't believe Arteta is a good manager enough to actually learn from his failure and change the team to win the league. These players have not improved enough for them to win the league. That would be way more logical than you can't win it because you failed. You only can win if you fail before.
No, you're listening to you guys don't listen.
I am trying to listen to you, George.
No, because I've literally sat here and said this team. I've sat here and blamed the team, and you're failing to listen to the fact that I've named the fact that these players have failed. It's not I'm not saying Arsenal is a club. I'm saying these players at this team, Arteta's part of this. Arteta and these players have failed to win and to show me that they can get over the line.
Can I tell you?
So until they get over the line,
let me hold on.
I have a very good question to that. Can Spurs win the League Cup this season?
I'm gonna just state facts.
Liverpool. Am I convinced?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot win it because you have never won it before. You cannot win the League Cup because you have never shown the mentality to win the trophies before. So you cannot win the League Cup.
George, wait, guys.
One more. I'm telling you,
Jurgen Klopp failed to win Europa League. He lost the final. Failed to win the Champions League after this, right? Made top 4, and then learned, and then won a Champions League. And in that season, they didn't win the league. Season after they won the league. It's a learning curve. You can sit here and tell me, I don't think Arteta is a good manager, blah, 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 all the things that I said before. But they're learning from their failures. I actually don't think that everybody the difference, George. I actually don't think that Arteta's fucking learning, bro.
Yeah,
but that's what I've said. They're not learning because they're not going to win anything because he's not learning.
But that's only this season. I thought that last season, Habibi, last season, he improved on the season before, George. This season, he regressed. Yes. He regressed. Somehow, this guy Arteta has regressed. We can discuss that then. Why has he regressed? Why is he abandoning some of his principles? Why are Arsenal not playing good? Now we can discuss it.
When I sit here, just like when we've sat here and said that this Arsenal team is no better than Poch's Tottenham team, is because it's the exact same. Yeah, they look good for a couple years and then they will regress. Because ultimately, what happens to every team when you challenge and you continuously fail, that team is going to regress. They're going to step back, and you're going to need a refreshment, whether it's a new manager or a whole new load of players. Arsenal haven't refreshed the squad.
That's what Ash is. That's what Ash said. He doesn't win this season. He doesn't improve. But that's what Ash is saying. He doesn't improve this season. He doesn't win. I want a new guy to lead this team. That is what he said. Always.
I can't lie to you. I agree with what Jordz is saying. Challenging. يا حبيبي اسكت دقيقة. Challenging. Okay, خلاص. Why you invite me to the show? You want me to be quiet?
خلاص, go ahead, talk. Because you agree. You sat silent, and then you said, I agree with George.
Yeah, because George is cooking. The reason why I agree with George is, look, if you challenge and continue to fail without anything at the end of it, I think this has a very bad mental effect on the team. I'm not even trying to banter or be like just bullshit. I'm being serious. Thing is with Klopp, and I mentioned this the last time, every time we challenged, we always left the season with something. And I think that's something that maybe spurred the players on or helped them, in that scenario, like from a mental perspective. Yes, we might have not won the league, but we won an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. We might have not won the league, but we won a Carabao Cup. Like, you win something. And I think the problem for Arsenal is 2 years in a row of challenging, you leave with nothing. That's the issue that Arsenal have.
Sam, what did you guys win in 2016 with Klopp? When you challenged for Europa League, you lost the final.
When they lost Europa League,
what did you win that year?
They won nothing until they won the Champions League, bro.
2016.
No, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about challenging for the league specifically. We didn't challenge for the league in 2016.
Yeah, but okay, I understand that. But if you're on an upward trajectory and you're progressing and you're challenging, that doesn't mean you don't have the mentality to do it.
But do you think that the fact that you challenged for a league twice, failed both times, and didn't win anything, the didn't win anything part is the part that I think you're ignoring a bit here, because that's what I think has the bad mental effect on the team.
How so? Explain. Well, how did it have a
sitting
bad
here
mental
telling you
effect
that it
on the
has a
team?
huge mental effect because I think that just like I've said with Poch's Tottenham team, the fact that they challenged, they came so close, so many times they played in finals, they almost got there. They challenged for the league with Chelsea that season. We just like you guys across. You can look across 16, 17, and I think 17. No, correct. Across the calendar year of 2016 or 2017 and 2018, Tottenham was the best team in the league 2 years in a row, but we failed to win
But you won.
anything. And it had
No.
we
Actually,
didn't win anything.
Actually, George, you can't be. Because if you were the best team in the league, part of being the best team in the
across
league.
the calendar years. Across the calendar years,
George, I let you speak for 30 minutes. Let me finish.
The stats were the
Part of,
stats.
George, part of being the best team, surely, is mentality. If you had the best mentality, you no. So you weren't the best team for those 2 years then? Because if you were, you
Exactly.
No. David, you're not. That's something you're just jumping in. You're not actually listening to what I'm saying. I'm talking about points wise, just like Arsenal.
But that doesn't make you the best team. Though.
I didn't say we was the. You're just taking words literal. You're trying to argue.
Over those 2 years,
you're arguing for argument's sake now, bro. I'm literally just.
It's not about arguing.
No, David. I'm validating. No. Ashraf asked.
He said we were the best teams in the league for 2 years. He said that. VAR. You said that.
And the reason. And what did I say? But calendar years for the points wise, like Arsenal have been across the calendar year of 2024. Arsenal not accumulated the most points. Does that mean they're the best team in the league?
No,
that's what people will say. No. Across that year, they've been the best team in the league of 2024.
No, that's not how it works.
Because you don't play the same teams in that calendar year. You don't play the same teams home and away, so it's not the same. It's an irrelevant stat.
If the season started January 1st, and
you're taking a phrase and you're taking it too literal.
You can say we've accumulated the most points. Doesn't mean we're the same team, George. Because to say we're in the same team, we would have played the exact same teams over the course of the year. Anyways, go on.
The whole point is you're gonna fail to build mentality because you can continue to be good, but being good is not gonna build your mentality, and it's gonna have a bad mental effect when you're losing. You're not succeeding. All this.
So can I ask you something, George? Do you think Arsenal will regress or progress?
Pardon?
Do you think Arsenal will regress or progress if they get a
You already answered that question, but you don't listen.
No. You didn't.
He said they're regressing. He said it.
If they get a new manager, because he said until they get a new manager.
We can't judge it until they get who the new manager is. We're gonna have to see until they bring that they get
do
to that
you
stage.
rate the squad? Do you rate this team highly? Do you think this team is good enough to win a title? Do you think this team is good? Do you think that Saka's, Rice's?
Remember, we was on the show a few weeks ago, and we said how many world-class players? I said 5. They got 5 world-class players that I believe.
They have 4 world-class players. Arsenal.
4 or 5, yeah.
What the fuck? Okay. Liverpool don't even have 5 world-class players, bro.
Pardon?
Liverpool don't even have 4 or 5 world-class players.
No, I think
Liverpool have 5.
I think Saliba's world-class. I think Declan Rice is world class for me. I think Declan Rice has shown his level. Maybe this season he's not been, but yeah, we have to be honest about that. I think Odegaard is the best. He's up there. You can't really talk about much midfielders in the world that are better than Odegaard. And then Saka, like we said, Saka's.
Can you answer? Okay, couple of super chats. By George's logic, why did Arsenal finish above Liverpool last season?
They finished above but didn't do anything. Who had a better season last year?
Arsenal.
Who won something? What are we doing here?
Liverpool won a cup.
They won a League Cup.
The foolishness.
A League Cup.
Finishing third in the League Cup is better than second.
I think Liverpool had a better season. Yes, George.
Yeah, we had a better season because we also challenged, but won.
Maybe. Maybe. In that, it's not like the United.
You're right.
It's not like the United
one.
Yeah.
Don't cry. You're right.
United
had a better season than Arsenal.
United had a better season than us.
United.
No.
Manchester United.
Do you know why this annoys me? Because I remember 10 years ago when Arsenal winning FA Cups, they had better seasons than anyone that finished top 4 because they won an FA Cup.
I definitely never agreed with that. That's absolute nonsense, bro. That was the most ridiculous thing. And I used it. And I used that example on Most Channel a couple of weeks ago when I said we won the FA Cup in 2014, we won it in 2015, we won it in 2017, 3 and 4, and we still flopped every single league, and people called us bottle jobs, and rightly so. I used the example of we won cups and did nothing then. We didn't progress. We didn't win the league. We didn't challenge for the Champions League. It makes no sense.
Dio. Durag had.
This is Dio. Big up Dio.
This is Dio, of course. Last season by game week 20, Liverpool.
Jordz, and you still said big up Dio. Respect Jordz, mate.
He didn't insult him. What did he say? He just said he's waffling.
He called him Durag head.
That's dire, man. This is Avatar,
Let's just
bro.
forget about it. Last season, by game week 20, Liverpool was 5 points ahead of us, and by game week 38, we were 7 points ahead. That's 12-point swing.
Mentality, though,
agree.
guys.
I
Mentality.
agree. Arsenal are the
Well,
favorites.
Well
Stop
done.
it, Hassan.
What did that do for them? They win anything?
That
agree,
doesn't
Arsenal
answer
are
your
favorites.
point about mentality, though. It's a that's a different
Because
topic.
you didn't build no mentality by
different
getting
topic.
a swing on them. You didn't
That's
win anything.
crazy, bro. That's crazy. It's such a
Those
different
Liverpool
topic.
players showed yet again that they can win something. What did you do last year? Win nothing. Failures, bro. Allow it.
Yeah, so if we win,
Take
oh, no,
your
wait, so
Durant-
if we win the League Cup this
If you
season,
win
the
the League Cup,
competition is
you're
done,
in.
right?
If
If we win the League Cup,
Cup,
we are
yeah,
mentality monsters, guys. Remember, huh?
If you win the
If we win the
League
league-
Cup, it'll be more impressive than the last 4 years because you've won.
Yeah,
something.
yeah, but
How about that?
and then we are mentality monsters, right? We're mentality monsters because we won the League Cup. That's it.
Honestly.
That's your argument.
Oh, you need to win something to build mentality. You just don't get
Anyways,
it. bro.
Jordz, since you guys have never won
you know what it
trophies
is?
since
You're as
2008,
foolish as your
you're
manager
not going to
think
be
that
winning
those
any
cups
trophy
mean nothing.
because by Jordz'
trophy.
logic, if you don't win something, you cannot win
I-
anything.
yes, I
which
hold
means
my team
Spurs
accountable.
are going to
I
go
think
in this endless
I
loop
hold
of
my
not
team
winning.
accountable. Clearly, you don't.
Bro,
I hold my
please
team to a standard that you clearly don't. So
I mean, your team
That's
isn't
it.
in that standard to be holding it to that
I hold
standard,
my
to be
team to a
honest.
standard you clearly don't.
Aston Villa are a bigger club, but anyways, go on.
They're a bigger club than us. We've won more trophies, clearly.
No, you haven't. That's a lie. That is a
That's
lie.
what we have.
Go and
We
check
have.
it.
Go check
Mo,
the stats.
Mo, I
Go check the
promise,
stats.
Mo,
Go check the
I
stats.
promise. Bring up
I'm
Villa's
actually going to
honours.
check.
Bring up Spurs honours.
I think with Community
have
Shields, they have one
25
more, no?
honours.
I think Spurs
Tottenham
have
have
one more. With
25
Community Shield.
honours.
Pull up the
Aston
two
Villa have
honours
like
and tell me
22.
you'd rather be a Spurs fan. Because these man, Riyadh FC are getting too big. They're getting too big.
Oh, what
Stop it.
rattled that we have history that you don't. I hear it, bro.
You don't.
You
What are you
literally wasn't a
talking
club
about?
before
What are you
2000.
talking
You have
Aston
no
Villa have
experience.
20 trophies, Spurs have 17.
What are
We
you
have
talking
25.
Oh my god, what? I actually thought that Spurs were more. Nah.
That's
Spurs, I'll tell you
We
right
have
now.
25.
Spurs,
I'm
no,
really-
Spurs have less. Spurs have 2 league titles, 8
I'll
FA
go on. I'll
Cups,
go on to Tottenham website. Don't
8
worry.
FA Cups, 4 league cups, 3 European trophies, so they've got 17. Aston Villa got 7 titles, 7 FA Cups, 5 league cups, and 1 Champions League. They have 20 titles.
Sam, I checked it. Okay, so he's right. But the reason Spurs go ahead based on the official trophy count, which is stupid, is the Super Cups. Spurs have a lot more Super Cups.
Bro, that's
Oh.
Community Shield, not Super Cup.
Exactly.
have
No, but they put it
We
as
have
Super Cups. That's what I'm
Super
saying. With Community Shields, they go ahead.
Community
Which
Shield
is
is
mad.
not a trophy, man. Fuck
It
this
shouldn't
crap.
be. I agree. It shouldn't be a trophy.
We have trophies, more trophies than them. That's listed.
So wait, so Villa has more. That
Officially,
means
we have more
David was
trophies.
right.
And
Yeah,
again,
Villa
and
has
again,
more trophies because Community
and
Shield.
again,
We
they-
have more trophies.
George talking
25.
about his club's got more history than mine. Get alone. If I was born
No,
in
your club has no history before literally
That's not
2000. There's
true.
nothing.
That's
There's
not
no.
true.
There's 3 or
That's
4
not
trophies.
true, George.
No, David, you're
George,
telling me
it's
this
not
isn't
true.
true.
Spurs
I've had
has
this
less league
argument so
titles
many
than
times. I will
Huddersfield.
cook you on this, bro. We can do this.
George,
Your club has
it's
no
just not
history
true.
before
George,
2005.
if I was born in 1970, I would have seen like 2 FA Cups and one League Cup. If I was a Spurs fan.
No, you wouldn't. You would have seen enough trophies because Tottenham was winning. We're the first team. You know, I ain't gonna get into this. This isn't a stream.
We're the first team
Carry
to,
on.
and that's all. And
Mo?
you did it once.
Mo?
Congratulations, you did it once.
Go on.
Congratulations.
Go on.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man, that's not me, bro. He fucking spoke, bro. I didn't say anything.
I'm just saying.
Anything you want to respond to?
You know, they're rattled, isn't it? Normal.
Tayo. Mo, stop gaslighting Arsenal fans. 20 years of waffling. Okay, JJ, let me tell you, JJ. Arsenal are crap. The team is shit. Saka's shit. Arteta's a terrible manager. Declan Rice is garbage.
Our stadium. sucks.
Martin Odegaard is shit. Ben White is a fraud. Calafiori is a failed signing.
North
Timber
London
is shit.
suck.
Yani, JJ, I'm not gaslighting them. I literally said it will be a surprise for me if Arsenal win the league from here on. And it's very simple for me. Arsenal are not favorites. They're 9 points behind Liverpool. If Liverpool lose the league from here, they fucking bottled it. It's as simple as that. And I state that. Will Liverpool be under pressure if they don't win the league? No. Will Arsenal be under pressure if they don't win the league? The guy should get sacked. Simple.
Unless he wins the Champions
There
League.
is
which
nothing
probably
unless he
won't be
fucking
winning.
wins the Champions League. Otherwise, it's done. Don't give me cup, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever shit. It doesn't justify you staying at a top club.
You're smaller
Unless
than Juventus,
Arsenal
mate.
fans don't want to call themselves a top club. And I don't want to hear any Arsenal fan telling me, Mo, what if we win the cup? Should he stay one more year because he wasn't backed? I don't care. You're a top club. You're a big club. Your manager in 5 years should win the league or the Champions League. If he doesn't, he goes. This is now almost 5.5 years now. It's done. Over. No waffle, no talk, no nothing. Exactly.
He heard that now. He heard that now. Oh, he got the message.
I've always held that stance. Are you okay? I've always held that stance. I've never once been a crazy Arteta backer for no reason. I've said until last year he's done an amazing job. This year, 100% he needs to go if he doesn't win. If he doesn't win the major stuff.
And you don't think he's gonna win, so he's gonna go.
I don't think he's gonna win, so he needs to go then, yeah.
In the past 5 years, there is a reason teams across Europe fear Liverpool and City more than Arsenal. It is the mentality. You can never count them out. Arsenal will find excuse before finding the mentality.
Can I answer this one? Can I give it honest answer?
Yes, you can. Okay.
This is fucking bullshit. I will tell you this as a Liverpool fan. The reason why people fear playing Liverpool is Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Salah. The reason why people fear playing Man City is Haaland, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Kyle Walker when he was good. Like there's reasons to fear certain clubs. Same way, if I come up against Real Madrid, I'm fearing Vinicius, I'm fearing Mbappe, I'm fearing Barry. You know, that's like telling me, okay, now in Arsenal, but 1 second, let me tell you, on Arsenal in a Champions League, people think I'm pro Arsenal and I twerk for Arsenal, blah blah blah. I'm guaranteeing right now that Arsenal won't win the Champions League because they have no moments players. They don't have someone who could take the game out of nowhere and fucking win you the game. That's the thing that they lack right now in their team, which is why
we have one guy
they can win the Champions League. And that's why there is no fear factor from a European team. So if Bayern Munich are coming up against Liverpool, they're gonna plan for Salah. You best believe they're gonna have a plan and do all this extra shit of having the left-hand side reinforced and blah 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 blah. You know, if we come up against Real Madrid, we're gonna plan for Vinicius. Like this is normal, but they don't have a
plan for Saka.
يا حبيبي Saka's injured. اصحى من
I think they plan for Martinelli, bro. He's clutch now. Kai Havertz is clutch, bro. Kai Havertz
anyway, guys, it was nice doing the show. I'm out, man.
Kai Havertz scored a great Kai Havertz scored great goal against Ipswich, the mighty Ipswich that beat Chelsea the other day. He got a clean sheet. What are we be talking about, guys?
I'm so done with this. So done.
I have it. I think
man said I fear Martinelli. Subhanallah. Can you take back that statement? Take it back. I'll switch on my camera.
Yeah, it was a joke. Have some shame and decorum. JW said the only thing that Spurs have on Arsenal is Beyonce concert.
I think Beyonce is overrated. So
now put your hands up. I actually agree with that.
Don't
disrespect Beyonce, bro.
I think Beyonce is overrated a bit.
Don't the hype to come for you, man.
That's the deal.
Guys, I'm just joking. I don't think Beyonce is overrated. I think Beyonce is the best female artist of all time. She's one of the best performers on stage as well. I'm only joking.
George, can we talk about Spurs? Can you give us more than 5 minutes? I know you said you got a dip, but I really want to have. Listen,
George, this is a grind, mate. I used to do 6-hour streams a day. You have to grind.
Some shit. You know, Osam has been here for about 5 hours now, streaming.
You know, this is my 5th hour in a row of streaming.
Yeah,
my channel, straight facts, now this.
I was working, and I was looking after little ones. Come on, man. I can. It's a hard graft.
You're putting in more effort than your team, bro. Big up, respect.
Definitely.
Wow, wow, low blow,
bro.
Low blow.
Big up, George.
No, seriously.
Spurs right now are a bit.
No, it's not that. It's like the Ange.
Ask him.
The Ange. Should Spurs keep the work behind Ange?
Ask him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask him. I asked him that on the football terrace, and he didn't get triggered. The other guys triggered. So don't worry about it. He doesn't get triggered. He doesn't. This guy doesn't get triggered.
You're not gonna trigger me on what's the point of Spurs. I mean, I grew up in the area. Like Spurs is a big club. If maybe you guys live from abroad, but where I'm from, where I know where I'm, Tottenham's huge. So what's the point of Spurs?
Yeah, same. Yeah. And Liverpool, Everton are huge. By the way, in the south of London, Crystal Palace are huge. Let me tell you something. In the south coast, Brighton are huge, and Southampton are huge.
Al Faisal is huge.
London's the capital of England.
Whole city is big and Hull, bro. Hull's a big city.
My man said, I live in North London. Spurs are huge here.
Of course they're huge.
Oh, you said you're not going to tell me.
And even
what's
then, they're not the
my
biggest club.
I've grown
Even then,
up
they're not
around
the
my
biggest
club.
club.
Like, what do you mean? What's the point of my club? I support my club against my.
It's a
local
glamorous,
club,
which is I respect. I respect.
I'm not saying anyone that's not local is not a fake fan. I just mean like I have an affinity to my club, innit? Like that's where my affinity comes from.
I like it, bro. I respect it. But seriously, on a serious note, forget the banter and the jokes. Ange Postecoglou now
because he's a glory hunter. He supports Al Ahly and Inter Milan.
I'm definitely a glory hunter.
I hear it.
I just
You know any
grew up
Egyptian who supports Al Ahly biggest glory.
Yeah, but you didn't grow up inside the club, yo. I did. I'm actually a member and I grew up in the club. So
Zamalek won all halal league titles. Big up Zamalek. No giving to referees.
And can you let me talk, Yahi? Just give me 1 second.
Ange, yeah, you want to
Ange Postecoglou. Henry's asking for him to be sacked. Topes, I don't know your opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking for these.
A lot of people now, bro, booing.
Yes, I
after
can't
the
even lie.
game.
It seems like I'm the last man standing on this Ange.
Really, you are.
I generally do feel like I'm the last man standing, but I'm going to be waving the flag of Ange because I still believe in Ange, and I still think that the biggest problem with Spurs is the board, and like until we address the fact that Tottenham's recruitment has been a problem, Tottenham's backing of managers has been a problem, we're going to be in a constant cycle. I can sit here and accept that Ange has some flaws. Ange needs to learn from some of the things that he's been doing across the past. Definitely this season, the intensity is not sustainable. We can't continue to try and play the way we play, so high pressure with these players when we don't have the squad to rotate. If we have the squad to rotate, then you can play that intensity because you're going to be making 5 subs a game. Those subs are going to be good. The quality is not the quality drop off isn't going to be huge. Then you can do that if you've got the squad to do that. But we currently don't have the squad to facilitate it. So Ange needs to make those little tactical adjustments, which he's shown in games like he did in the previous game. It just didn't work because, like I said, the quality of player isn't there. I believe if we go out in January, we back Ange, we go bring some proper players in, that we will perform and there will be a turnaround in our team. We just need to bring in some good quality players because when we look at that transfer window, we signed 4 youngsters and 1 first-team player in Solanke. Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall weren't supposed to have such a first-team impact and be relied upon to play so much games, but they have to because he didn't get enough players. They didn't bring the squad planning was so poor in summer. So now we're looking at this January transfer window and they're saying we want to sign 3 or 4 players. You shouldn't have to go in the January transfer window and sign 3 or 4 players, but we have to do that because our summer wasn't good enough. So if we have and that's a very big if, we have a good January transfer window, Ange can definitely turn it around. But there's no doubt that the pressure on him right now is justified. The performances haven't been good enough, and we need to pick up points because there's hard games coming up. There's Newcastle, there's Arsenal. We've got to pick up points in some of these games.
I'm going to keep you for a bit. I know you have to go, but I'm going to give you a couple of questions on real notes.
Yeah.
If you're 11th now and Ange continue to be bottom half of the table, regardless of the context, I know that you believe that your team is not 11th quality. I know that. I spoke to you before. I know that. If Ange is having this team and they are 11th and you finish bottom half of the table, you continue like this, should he get another season?
Again, that's what I mean. This January transfer window is very key because if we don't sign players, then he's
you believe that he can finish 11th and
no, but he's not.
Mo's gone.
Oh, I thought I was
gone only for me.
I thought it was me. No.
Yeah,
I glitched. I'm back.
What'd you say?
Am I back?
Yeah,
you're back. Yeah.
Okay, imagine. Don't forget January. Forget the transfer window. This team, 11th on the table with these players under Ange Postecoglou's second year of managing.
He gets sacked. There's no way that you can finish off the table and not get sacked.
So let me ask you something. Which teams you think you're better than and you can finish above? I'm looking at the table at the current moment. There is Newcastle, Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa, Brighton.
We can still finish. We won't finish top 4, but I can still think. I feel like every team outside the top 4 is very inconsistent. So those teams are going to drop points. Tottenham can close the gap on those teams. How much of the gap we close, I'm not too sure, but I still think we can finish 5th or 6th or 7th, like in those positions.
Whoa! You put 2.
Woke up, David.
5th. Just
you want to finish
5th, 6th, 7th. I said
no.
In the European.
I don't even think you'll finish 7th.
What I will say. So let me clarify. We will finish in a European place. That's my point. We'll finish in a European place. 100%.
I can't lie. You're bugging. a little bit. Just a little.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
I think if Ange recovers it and puts you in 10th, he's done quite well.
So they're 11th. Have some shame. They recover and put in 10th. They're 11th.
I'm serious. No. But no. I'll put it to you like this.
No, can you be serious? I'm trying to have an objective conversation.
No. And I'm trying to be objective as well. As well.
So don't say turn it and finish 10th.
Again. Let me bring up the Prem. Are you going to tell me
they are 11th?
Let me explain, bro. Let me explain. This is my point. It's not about just Spurs being better. That's not the crux of the argument. Are they going to outpoint Man City by 4? No. Are they going to outpoint Newcastle by 5? No. Are they going to outpoint Chelsea by 8? No. Are they going to outpoint Arsenal? No. Are they going to outpoint Liverpool? No. And are they going to outpoint Forest? Maybe, but are they going to outpoint Forest?
No, but I don't get you mentioned loads of teams that might not even in the race.
Already.
Why did you Chelsea, Arsenal?
George, let me explain. Those are 6 teams who I think you have at best are a 5% chance of getting near, and that's already 7 places gone. So
no. You're seeing this completely wrong. I don't even know how you're looking at this, David. Because
how are you going to get into
this? Like Nottingham Forest. Yes, we can catch up to Nottingham Forest. Yes, they're ahead right now, but they're not the main thing consistency.
13 points. You think you'll turn that around?
Nottingham Forest, I think they can swing 13 points, 100% in the second half of the season. We've got 19 games. That's 4 games where they drop points in and we pick up points. That's not that much. That's 12-point swing. We can do a 12-point swing on them. And
no. Other teams can, but I don't think you're
I'm going to tell you, we signed 3 good players. I've seen this with my team before. And just like we've seen with even Chelsea last season under Pochettino, the second half of the season, I think you guys only dropped points in like 7 games.
Yeah, they were the 3rd best team in the league.
Okay. And yes, they done really well. Do I think Tottenham can be the 3rd best team in the league for the second half of the season? Maybe not, but the 5th or 6th, I think we can perform with again, you guys are failing to understand that this drop in form of the last 6 weeks has coincided with us having so many injuries. Like how can people just be so dumbfounded and just ignore the fact that we've had no Vicario, we've had no Romero, no Van der Ven. Bentancur was only just come back last game. Udogi's been in and out of the team and is going to continue to be out from now. Again, we've been missing half of our front line. Richarlison, Odebert, Mikey Moore, all these players that are supposed to be options for us off the bench, and we're resorting to Reguilon, Werner. I said Archie Gray at centre back. These are the reason why we're dropping points. Tottenham are definitely going to turn it around completely when you have a lot better players playing. We're going to be picking up more points than we are.
Right, but the real question is,
in a lot of these games right now, where the schedule's tight, like I said for Arsenal, where you guys are suffering, we don't have a squad. We have no squad right now. We're down to bare bones. We're playing every 4 days. Of course, this team's going to perform the way they are because they've had no break. We've been using the same players, the same 11, 12 players for the past 6 weeks, and they've been playing 2 games a week. So this team that's currently playing 11th best team in the league, yes, they are. Because if you look at the amount of players that are missing, they are at that level.
George, I just want to say, so even considering all of those issues, you don't have 19 games to turn it around because those issues aren't going to get solved by the next game. So you already before you really even if I'm optimistic for you, you sort out these issues in 5 games. Are you going to outpoint Nottingham Forest by 13 points in 14 games? No.
I think Nottingham Forest are going to drop points in a lot of games. Yes.
I think you're going to drop loads of points in a lot of games.
Okay, and I disagree with you. So I don't get where we go from it. I don't think that. I think, as I just sat here and said, if Tottenham have a good January transfer window, Tottenham will not drop. We will be a lot better team. 2 to 3 quality signings, and Tottenham will improve drastically, especially once we have our injuries back. I think where we have deficiencies, like at left back, where Udogi's not been able to be rotated, like in the wing position where Son has not been performing, we have played, and like the 6, if we bring in a proper midfielder, maybe not a midfielder, but if we can improve in this team, there'll be a big change in Tottenham. The system's not the problem; it's the quality of players. That's what I'll maintain.
I think it's also the mentality. I don't think Spurs have the mentality to close that gap.
Villa won't improve.
Okay, that's fine.
This is just.
As I said, the Tottenham need to prove you wrong then, because we haven't showed the mentality for the past 2 seasons. You're not wrong, Ashraf.
No, but generally, George, I think that while I understand what you're saying about Ange, because I do agree that he is a good manager, I think I've said this before and I'm saying it again. And I swear I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. I just don't think he is the right manager for your team and what you guys need to do. Like, I think right now, if you sack someone like Ange and get a new manager, yeah, maybe he won't be like a world-class manager, but you might at least have a new manager bounce. And I feel that'll actually give you guys a better
But
chance.
they can't live on a new manager bounce. Shit, like this can't be the thing, bro.
They will have to always live on a new manager bounce until the ownership changes or Levy decides I'm going to actually start competing.
Point exactly, Ashraf, and that's why I want to maintain with Ange, because as I said, we're in a
then you might get worse
these last couple of years. We keep bringing in a new manager. Like you said, it looks good for 6 months because it looks nice. It's refreshed. The team feels nice, but you're not refreshing the squad. You're not going. This is the first time we're going through a proper rebuild, and Spurs fans are being spoilt. In fact, they don't know what a rebuild, what it takes to go for a rebuild, bro. Like, that's what it is. Some fans like acting like I've been here before. I've supported my club for 25 years. Like, I know where my club's been down in the depths under one day Ramos. And this is how bad it got. You have to go through a rebuild to get back to where you want to go. Like, this is.
He won you your only trophy in your life.
But again, George, you have to go through...
you don't get.
Wait,
that was
what you mean.
My point. That was the worst Tottenham team. Since then, we've not been this bad, and we're going through this pattern. We have.
George, you just said you have to go through a rebuild, but yet you still believe you're going to be what, 4th best team in the league?
We finished 5th last season. Sixth, was it 5th or 6th? I can't even remember. 5th or 6th last season. It was 5th in it because Chelsea finished 6th. Oh, you guys finished.
It was 5th. It was 5th.
You guys finished 5th.
Yeah.
So if we can finish 5th in our first season with this team, why should I believe that? Oh, we're going to regress so much.
Well, because again, last year you started
we've signed a new players.
You started off probably I can't remember where it was actually, but like in your first 10 games, you're like the second best.
8 wins, 8 wins out of 10 games, I think.
Yeah, exactly, something ridiculous like that. And also, this is not the same league it was last year because Bournemouth are better, Fulham are better, Villa are worse, but they're still a very good team.
Big team.
Forest are better. Forest are better. Chelsea are better.
Forest are better. Chelsea are better. Newcastle are better.
Whoa! You know what? Chelsea are better. When I'm looking at the stats, you had
no, not better than Spurs. We're saying they're better than what they were last season.
In your first 19 games of this season. So and
Forest are not better than Spurs.
Like they're not.
No, but Mo, my point is.
By the way, Bournemouth are not better than Spurs.
Yes, they are. Last year.
Yeah, no, they are not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They are. No, they are. All these teams are finishing above us.
If you're watching ball, you know Bournemouth are a serious team.
We're going to finish 10th. I like this logic. I like that this is being painted. I want.
But my point is with Spurs. My point is with Spurs is that last year they started off the best they probably ever have, or one of the best they've ever had, and they only finished 5th. This year they've started terribly. Loads of teams in the league are better than they were last year, but somehow they're going to finish in the same position.
This is
the equation.
Okay, George, Scott, can I ask you this? Because everything you mentioned, George, was contingent on everything you mentioned, George, was contingent on Jan. If you don't sign anyone in Jan, do you agree that it's very probable you finish 10th or 9th or 11th?
I think Ange gets sacked if we don't sign players in January. 100%. This team right now is not good enough, and that's what I've continued in saying.
I actually agree with George.
Not Ange. And
by the way, guys, if Daniel Levy doesn't go out and sign players, that means he doesn't rate Ange and he's planning to sack the guy.
That's what shows me 100%.
He's just riding out this season and he's planning to sack the guy. Because if he believes in Ange, he will go out and get him a couple of signings at least for the backbone. You know, the team doesn't have like a backbone that he can lean on when there is players injured. If he doesn't sign him any player, he's trying to sack the guy at the end of the season and get a new guy. 100% he doesn't rate the guy, and he's made up his mind. 100%. That's the conversation here.
No, I agree.
Denzel here is saying Sunderland, Blackburn Rovers, Huddersfield Town, and Wolves have more titles than Spurs. Big club. We expect too much from Spurs. They are glorified Burnley.
These are talking about 2nd division titles and stuff. But cool.
2nd division titles. Oh, all right. 2nd division. Denzel, here you go. Junior is saying Liverpool midfield was just assembled last season, hence broke down because they couldn't cope with Klopp's rock and roll football. Now have gel up and improved. I think that is what
they have, yeah.
They have. And the problem is Arsenal haven't improved since last season. Astonishing, to be honest. But that's the whole point. Thank you, Junior Murphy, for Super Chat. That's a fact. But listen, people, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Appreciate you, Dave, George, Ash, of course, George. Let's get George to 1K. Let's get Ash to 1K. Their channels are in the description. Go and support the guys.
Ash, 1K. I'm almost at 2K, bro. 1.9.
2K. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Far behind. Though,
Yeah,
far
respect
behind.
Ashraf shoots the ball,
Far
man.
behind. But no, I'm still far behind.
Ashraf shoots the ball. It's crazy, actually.
It's
Ashraf talks football.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen,
Ashraf talks football, please.
listen, this channel, this show, guys, now we'll go to Saad's Football Corner. Him and TK discussing a lot of Arsenal. Go and rattle them. Say Arsenal are not winning this. Take Arteta out. I think it will rattle Saad. It will actually please TKA. But listen, thank you, George. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. Ash, great show. And Dave, great. Fantastic.
Justified.
You are,
Arsenal.
Dave is actually the definition of the leopard in the tree. Big up you too. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
He's
okay, nice
calm,
one.
composed, and he never said he's in the title race. See you guys. We're out of here, people.